Okay, so we're now going to start looking at some progressions from Book 2, Rhythm Guitar Playing by Chaz Hart. And these include grades 3, 4 and 5. So obviously this video will deal with a couple of progressions from grade 3. Now the biggest thing you'll notice is that we introduce bar chords. Quick word about bar chords. I mean, technically, obviously difficult to play when you've never done them before. We are actually using our first finger to cover all 6 strings. The thumb stays quite low on the back of the neck. You shouldn't really see it over the top. You won't be able to do them. And really, the chords themselves look like some of the open chords we've already done, but shifted up. Imagine your finger is actually a capo. That's probably the easiest way to think of it. If we played an E, and we had a capo at the 3rd fret, and played another E, obviously without the capo it doesn't sound right. But imagine the capo was there, we just adjust the fingering. You've got an E-shaped chord at the 3rd fret. But of course it's not an E anymore. If we were using our finger or a capo at the 3rd fret, we're going to go by whatever this note is. This is called the root note, the lowest note. In this case it's a G, which you should know from your G chord. So this becomes a G. It's a major chord because the shape that we're using is the same as an E major. All I'm doing, you can practice it like this, just use your 2nd, 3rd and 4th fingers to play an E chord and then slide it up anywhere and just move it around until it sounds clean. No buzzing, you know, try all the strings individually like that. It'll take a while. Some fingers might lean on other strings, some of them might not be quite in the fret, all this kind of thing, but it's just like any chord. Just give it time, stick with it, and in time you'll get it. Now, the other chord that they've given us on the 6th string, based on the 6th string root, is a minor chord, which is just simply taking your 2nd finger off, and we've got there, in this case, a G minor. So again, really, we're just looking at an E minor, which probably play like that or that. So we can now do it with these 2 fingers. Move it anywhere on the guitar. Use our finger like a capo and bar. And we've got a minor chord in a different place. Again, going by the root note or the lowest note on the 6th string, this case being an A. So we've got A minor. Now if you look at the chord chart for all these grades, you'll see at the bottom a diagram showing all the notes on the 6th string. So the way to look at these chords is, first of all, you need to know the shape, whether it's major or minor, and then you just need to know the root notes on the 6th string. Now I wouldn't go any further than the 12th fret. This will be probably a double dot on top. I'm not going to play bar chords there. It's a bit too high. So just go up to the 12th fret. Remember that the 12th fret is actually an octave of the open string as well. So if that's an E, so is that. And I would concentrate on the natural notes, which is what they've done. So for example, we've got to find G. We're going to go count up E, F, G, alphabetical. So if we wanted, for example, a G flat, we don't try and search for E, F, G flat, we just find G and flatten it, which means just going down a fret. So G flat or G flat minor. If it was G sharp, again, I would go E, F, G sharp. Not E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, working out like that. It's much quicker and it'll help you get used to them a lot faster as well. So I'm going to play actually progression 3, which involves all of the bar chords from this grade, and progression 4, which has got a 6/8 time signature. 6/8 is again another new thing at this grade. It's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 count to each bar, obviously. Now, with a time signature, if you're not sure, try and think of a song that you might have played or you might know that uses this time signature. My favourite for this would be House of the Rising Sun by the Animals, which is the... but just played like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then apply that to the progression. Now, we haven't talked about the 5th string bar chords yet, so let's just do that. The 5th string bar chords, which are also shown at the bottom of the chord chart, obviously based on the A string, so we're going to call them A-shaped bar chords. There's your A chord. Same principle, we're just going to move that using these fingers instead of these or these. So that's your 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Anywhere on the guitar, bar only to the 5th string. You don't want to cover the 6th string really. It'll throw you a little bit, just to the 5th string. And if you can, what I'm doing there is just touching the 6th string. You see that? Not on it, just touching it. Therefore I'm blocking it so I can be a bit freer with the right hand. I don't have to be so accurate. So I can hit that like that. Now that's a major chord because it's based on A major. And then the other one, you probably guessed already, A minor. Move that shape, again using it from the 5th string only, that's the root. So in this case this would be C, if you think about it. A, B, C, ignore the B flat. A, B, C, D minor, E minor. Now the only thing you'll see me do in these progressions, particularly the first one, is with the major shape, once we start getting past there, it gets a little bit tight. So I tend to do, like a lot of players, this chord, which is exactly the same, it's just that I'm not hitting the top string. So I'm covering all the notes except that one, which is allowed because all the notes are present that you need, and it's a lot easier to sort of fit in, especially up here, and also to change. I find it a lot quicker from one to the other. So quick recap and then I'll play through. Major on the 6th string, which looks like your E. Minor on the 6th string, looks like E minor. Major on the 5th string, which looks like A, or of course, see, it sounds the same. And then minor on the 5th string, which looks like A minor. Learn the notes on the 6th and the 5th string. Learn the 4 shapes, major, minor, and you've got this covered. There's just one other thing, really, that's a trick I use to actually identify all the notes a little quicker on both strings. So long as you know the name of the string and your alphabet up to G, which I'm assuming we're good, all you then have to remember is that in the series of notes, B and C and E and F are always next to each other. There's no fret in between, which would be a sharp or a flat. So for example, down here we've got the E string, we know that. The next note is F. So there's no gap, E to F. But then you do get a gap, F sharp. Then G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and there comes our next one. B and C next to each other. C sharp, D, D sharp. Remember we finished at the 12th fret. That will of course work on A to B, there's a gap. B to C, there isn't. D there is, E there is. There's our E and F. Worth pointing out that the B and C and the E and F on those strings are actually next to each other, or adjacent. So we go E, F, G, and then we're back to A again. So remember, B and C, E and F, always next to each other. In this case, there and there, there and there, there and there, there and there. Anywhere on the guitar, every other note has a fret in between. And so long as you know the start, A or E, strings, and your alphabet, you can figure these notes out quite quickly. So let's get on and play. This is progression 3, and I'm going to start the E, as you can see from the chart, with this shape. So it's E major on the 5th string. Okay, and now progression 4, which is, remember, in 6/8. I'm going to use the House of the Rising Sun rhythm for this one. Here we go. Okay, so in there we have what we call a split bar. That's where we've got E minor and F. You see the 2 dots after each. So you just literally split the bar in half, give it a 1, 2, 3 for the E minor, 1, 2, 3 for the F, and that's your 6 again, obviously. And then on the last line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's grade 3. See you for grade 4.